In the third year of being a backup for Victor, his ideal girl has returned. He did it for her, let her cause trouble for Sophia in front of everyone. To achieve this, she made Sophia go through 3 miscarriages. He even personally ended the child he had with Sophia. Sophia felt very disappointed. She decisively called Victor's mother. I am willing to accept that 20 million. Leave Victor. In this industry, the biggest taboo is falling in love with a guest. Sophia was unwilling to believe in the arrangement of fate, not only fell in love with Victor, she willingly gave birth to 2 children for him after 10 months of hard pregnancy, finally looking forward to having a lovely baby, but due to difficult labor and severe hemorrhage, the baby could not survive. For Sophia, the saddest thing is what the doctor told her. She will never be able to have her own children again in this life. In the ward, Sophia stared blankly at the snow falling outside the window. It feels like this snow has been falling for 3 years. Victor put a safety lock on her. Hold her tightly in your arms. Comfort her by saying, "This is the peace lock that I specially requested, compared to children. I hope we can always be safe and sound." Sophia felt very upset, but they still forced a smile and said, "I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. Aren't there still many things for the company to handle? You have accompanied me for so long. You can go ahead and get busy first." At this moment, Victor's phone suddenly started ringing non-stop. Sophia knew he would leave because of work. Thus, she obediently shrank away from his embrace, just like every warm moment before. As long as the phone rings, he will definitely go to the company without any hesitation. This time is no different, Sophia said thoughtfully. "Go. The company needs you." Victor kissed her on the forehead, gently said, "Our Sophia is really understanding." He hurriedly put on his coat and left. As a result, I left my phone on the hospital bed. Sophia endured the pain after the surgery. I picked up my phone and chased after it, but she suddenly realized that Victor was heading in the opposite direction of the company. A wave of unease washed over me. She casually hailed a taxi and followed it, finally stopped in front of a high-end clubhouse. She was stunned, comforting myself. Victor is likely here for socializing. However, the constant notifications popping up on Victor's phone were relentlessly undermining her emotional boundaries. "Victor, today is my welcome banquet for returning to my country. You must come. I heard you found a substitute who looks a lot like me. Even the name is very similar to mine. Her name is Sophia. I have checked on her. She is a woman singing in a bar. There may be other jobs. You promised that you would marry me when I return to the country. You wouldn't change your mind for her, would you?" "Of course not." Victor spoke affectionately. This message was transmitted through the microphone to everyone's ears. Sophia realized that she had already walked into the club. Victor on stage was trembling with nervousness. Her face showed a devotion and tenderness she had never seen before. She looked eagerly and sincerely at the woman in the audience who resembled her very much. No, it should be said so. She looks very much like that woman. "Emily, I really love you very much. Can you please not leave me again?" Victor's tearful appearance moved everyone deeply, but for Sophia, it feels like a thorn. Deeply rooted in her heart, it caused her a lot of pain. Tears slowly flowed down. Sophia bit her lip tightly, did not want to make a sound. However, she still learned the truth through others. 3 years ago, Emily and Victor had a big fight. She was so angry that she gave up all means of communication. Studied abroad, Victor was acting like he was mad. He searched everywhere he could think of. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack. Nothing gained. Finally, I went to the bar to unwind with a heavy heart, just when he was drunk and unconscious. Suddenly, I heard the singer introduce themselves. "Hello everyone. I am Sophia, in a complicated place." Sophia walked onto the stage in a pure white dress, like a small flower that emerges untainted from the mud, attracted Victor's attention. Since meeting Sophia, Victor chased her for a full 3 months. Every time she performs on stage, he always brings 99 roses to support her. When Sophia encountered a thug who wanted to humiliate her by forcing her to sing and sell herself, Victor would angrily beat those people into the hospital. Sophia is deeply attracted to Victor. Finally, I quit the performances at the bar. It has become a canary trapped in a cage. On the surface, it appears very glamorous. But in reality, it has always been dull and lifeless because the Victor family does not accept her. Victor had never thought about giving her a formal identity. However, Sophia feels that these are not the most important things. As long as Victor loves her, she is willing to endure all the unfairness and grievances. Even, she said that now is not the right time for what he mentioned, gave up 2 children. However, she never thought about it, the feeling of falling in love at first sight. Can it really be considered love? Amid the cheers and shouts of the people around, Victor proposed to Emily. They are holding hands, embrace, kissing. Every link in the process. Victor looked particularly serious, like a boy in his first love. However, Sophia felt like a joke. Compared to him, she appeared somewhat at a loss. She suddenly remembered the day she resigned. The bar owner said to her, "We are in this line of work. You must never fall in love with a guest." This statement is entirely true. Sophia hurriedly ran out, soaked all over. "I dialed Victor's mom's phone number in the heavy rain. I am willing to accept the 20 million, forever separated from Victor." Victor's mother was very excited to hear that. "My hands are almost unsteady holding the phone. Really, wait for me. I'll be right there." Less than 20 minutes. Victor's mother appeared in front of her with a bodyguard, dressed very stylishly, when her gaze fell on her blood-stained hospital gown, wet from the heavy rain. A trace of disgust flickered in Victor's mother's heart. He arrogantly threw the check at her feet. "You keep your word. Take this 20 million and leave New York. Never appear in front of Victor." Sophia strained to bend down and pick up the check. Looking at this check, tears streamed down uncontrollably, reluctantly said a few words. "Good. I will keep my promise. I will never get close to him in this lifetime." The plan to leave was agreed upon with Victor's mother for a month later. Sophia stayed in the coffee shop for a long time. When the store closes, Victor came to find her. She just realized that she had already been here for 8 hours. Victor nervously took the check from her hand. "Hold her in your arms and comfort her. Has my mom caused you trouble again? It's okay now. I am here. You don't need to worry about her." Sophia really wanted to speak. In fact, Victor's mother has never made things difficult for her. It hasn't happened in the past 3 years. Just try to persuade her with emotion and reason. When there's no way out, she could only be stimulated with money, opened a door for her to a new life. As long as she is willing, always ready to accept the tempting offers provided by Victor's mother, start a new journey, it made her feel uncomfortable. Only she herself. Sophia broke free from his embrace. The eyes are red, but gradually returned to the former tranquility. "Let's go back. I am a little cold." Victor thought she was exhausted because of matters related to his mother, so I didn't think much of it. Immediately rushed over, picked her up and placed her in the car. The car returned to the club. In the puzzled gaze of Sophia, Victor smiled as he carried her inside. The sound of the cannonade was deafening. Rose petals fell from the sky. "Create a sea of flowers." The 4 words "Happy Birthday" air clearly visible. It was supposed to be a lively and joyful atmosphere, but when everyone saw that the person in Victor's arms was Sophia, the atmosphere became somewhat awkward. Everyone understands. The main character of this birthday party is actually Emily. It's not her, Sophia. Victor's face immediately turned very pale. Said angrily, "Who said that I celebrated her birthday? Take all of these apart. Today is the 3rd anniversary of Sophia and me. Anyone who can get into this place is smart." Gave a glance at Sophia, who was thrown in the corner, then silently changed the words "Happy Birthday" to "Happy 3rd Anniversary." The site has not been cleaned up yet. Emily's clear and charming voice came from the doorway. She has a tall figure, wearing a fringed short skirt, wearing exquisite jewelry on the hands. Next to her was a young idol from the entertainment industry, very striking. Take another look at the corner. Sophia curled up because it was too cold. It is simply worlds apart. Sophia tightened her grip on the hand she was holding. "It hurts a bit." She couldn't help but inhale sharply. I saw the confrontational gaze between the 2 individuals. Sophia suddenly understood. They must have had a dispute. Emily stared at her quietly for a long time. When I saw the words "Happy 3rd Anniversary of our relationship," the expression in their eyes suddenly changed. He walked directly up to her. "You are Sophia, right? You look just like me." Emily gently lifted her chin. Said, "Do you know who I am? My name is Emily. It's your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend." Sophia's face suddenly turned pale. I felt the hand gripping her was holding on tightly. The pain made her almost cry out. She saw the coldness reflected in Victor's eyes. "I can't help feeling a bit scared." Emily smiled and let go of his hand. "Don't worry. I am not here to steal your boyfriend. You see, my boyfriend is still waiting for me over there," said. She didn't wait for others to react. She turned around and passionately kissed that young hunk. Sophia could clearly feel. The man beside her was already seething with anger. Bang! Victor slammed his fist down with force. Pin the other person down to the ground. Act ruthlessly. People around are watching. Sophia is no exception, coldly watching this scene. Emily cried out in fear. Immediately, it was no longer as aggressive as it had been just now, crying while blaming Victor for not being a good person. The scalding tears brought Victor back to his senses. He hurriedly hugged her in his arms, helplessly wiping her tears, completely let go of the earlier excitement. Emily, don't cry. I dread it the most when you cry. I'm sorry, it's all my fault, I scared you. Emily felt frustrated. He fiercely pounded his chest. The voice carried a tone of crying. Victor, you are going too far. Can't you say something nice to me? Are you trying to make me angry? I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Don't cry, is it good or not? Your tears have softened my heart. Emily, how should I handle this situation? I saw Victor trying carefully to please Emily. Sophia felt a pang of bitterness in her heart. She doesn't know. It turns out that Victor is actually patient. It's just that I don't have those kinds of feelings for her. It did not attract anyone's attention. Sophia quietly pushed the door open and walked out. She went to her favorite barbecue restaurant from before. I ordered the skewers and beer that I used to frequently order, devour voraciously, completely disregarding their image. For 3 years, Sophia is upset because Victor doesn't like street food stalls. I can only secretly go eat a few times while he's on a business trip. Later found it troublesome, so he simply didn't come. The long-lost freedom made her realize she sacrificed too much for Victor. Finally, the love she considered to be a source of pride did not bring her happiness. Instead, it made her lose her truest self. After eating enough, Sophia wandered aimlessly down the street, walking along. We arrived at the seaside, waiting for the first ray of sunlight to spread across the surface of the sea. Sophia did not hesitate to throw Victor's phone into the sea, turn around and want to start a new life. I saw Victor and Emily, along with a group of people arriving at the beach to celebrate a birthday. Emily was surrounded by flowers and applause, her face filled with happiness. Accepted Victor's kiss. Victor swore loudly. I, Victor, want to be with Emily forever. Victor's commitment sounds so sincere, but he seems to have forgotten that he has a formal girlfriend. Emily asked shyly, you said you would never leave me. What about Sophia? She is not important. I will handle my relationship with her well. I'll give you an explanation. Victor said seriously, although he has already decided to let go. But Sophia still feels heartache, like a timid person, hiding in the corner and watching their happiness. Amid the blessings of being together, Sophia adjusted her emotions. I quietly sent a message to Victor's mom, originally planned to leave in a month. This time, it arrived 3 days earlier. Victor's mom replied quickly, after making arrangements to leave. The 20 million payment has also been received. Sophia sighed and lowered her head. When preparing to leave, the sharp-eyed Emily called out to her. Emily hugged her arm. She felt a tingle on her scalp. The whole body was stiff. I had to face Victor's eyes, which were both angry and awkward. Sophia, how did you end up here? Sophia's demeanor was calm. Respond, I walked and found myself here, so you just arrived. A hint of tension flashed in Victor's eyes. Sure, Sophia responded with what he wanted to hear. Just arrived. Victor let out a sigh of relief, but the tone is a bit strange. Your body is still very weak. How can one walk around everywhere? Forget it. Since we are here, let's work together to celebrate Emily's birthday. After the birthday, I have something to tell you. Good. Sophia obediently followed what he said. There doesn't seem to be any signs of unhappiness on the surface, but she already guessed what Victor was going to tell her. It's hard not to feel a bit bitter inside. Everyone is celebrating Emily's birthday. She did not want to join the lively crowd, so a person retreated to the seaside. I want to feel the sea breeze. Suddenly, a cake smashed hard onto her head. Looking up, I saw Emily's eyes filled with laughter. Sophia knew in her heart, beneath that smile, there is actually malice hidden. I'm sorry. Everyone wants to play truth or dare. As a result, I asked someone to smash the cake. I took a look around. I think you are the most suitable. Emily glanced at her with a somewhat disdainful look. A proud smile appeared on their face. Sophia didn't say anything, just silently looked at Victor. But he was almost entirely focused on Emily, totally has no time to pay attention to her. Sophia noticed Victor's indifference. He just waved his hand casually. Emily is right. Your illness is already dirty. It is truly appropriate to accept this punishment. Laughter echoed all around. Sophia's expression remained unchanged. Stand up straight and walk in front of Emily, politely yet somewhat distantly asked, can you give me a piece of cake? There was a clear sense of disdain in Emily's eyes. Pretending to be generous, he handed her a piece of cake. You also want to try the cake that Victor made for me himself. Then you have a chance. Ah, the words are not yet finished. Emily suddenly called out, because Sophia turned the whole cake upside down on her head. His eyes revealed anger. Emily was so startled that she took a few steps back. "What are you doing?" Victor suddenly pushed her away. She lost her balance and fell into the ocean behind her. The raging sea was about to engulf her. She felt like the whole world was spinning. Sophia struggled in a panic, waving hands and feet desperately. The continuous influx of seawater into her mouth and nose made her speech intermittent. Can only barely pronounce the name Victor. She didn't know how much time had passed. The body is getting colder, completely lacking the strength to struggle any further. It feels like being pulled down by an invisible force. She was suddenly pulled up onto the shore by a force, gasping for breath. A glimmer of hope began to rise in my heart. Victor, but what Sophia saw were unfamiliar faces. Those people only reacted because they saw someone drowning. I easily saved her. At this moment, her boyfriend is gently cleaning the stains for his girlfriend. Gently cheer her up. Between the rising and falling of the tide, Sophia heard her heartbeat getting faster. Tears shimmered in the eyes, the feeling of love and indifference. It is very clear. Sophia didn't know how she got home. I only remember that not long after. Victor returned as well. Victor saw that she was soaked through, immediately began to blame her. "Sophia, are you doing this on purpose? Do you have to cause trouble on Emily's birthday?" Victor is very angry. Her eyes reflected deep disappointment. Sophia felt an overwhelming sense of loss, silently watching him. Tears flowed unceasingly, crying and crying, yet suddenly laughing. "What are you laughing at?" Victor frowned. The tone is a bit unpleasant. Sophia looked at him seriously. "Victor, you truly make me feel sorry for you. What nonsense are you talking about again?" Victor can no longer tolerate it. "Sophia, don't think that losing a child gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. You must go apologize to Emily." Sophia's face suddenly turned very pale. There was a slight tremor in the voice. "What does it mean to lose a child? This is not a trivial matter for me. That is a living, breathing life. Why does it seem so nonchalant coming from Victor?" Victor said with a cold sneer. "So how should I say that, Sophia? Whether you have lost one child or two, go apologize to Emily right now. Otherwise, don't expect to be together with me in the future." Sophia stood frozen in place. I never expected Victor would say such things. "What you wanted to tell me after your birthday today. Let's break up." Sophia is a bit tired. "Just let it go." A hint of surprise appeared on Victor's face. Did you hear anything?" Sophia forced a smile. "Before you go to the seaside to celebrate your birthday." I was already there. The atmosphere became somewhat awkward in an instant. Victor felt a mix of emotions. The lips moved but no words came out. "Let's break up." "Victor." Sophia struggled to express this decision. I originally thought Victor would agree readily. I didn't expect him to reject it without even considering it. She felt as if her neck was being tightly squeezed. "Can only endure Victor's anger. I want to break up with you. No way. Even if you don't like me. I am not qualified to have others treat me that way." Sophia's eyes gradually grew distant. A deep-rooted fear slowly rose up from within. "Do not love me. Why won't you let go?" Tears streamed down the corners of Sophia's eyes. Immediately after that, Victor picked her up, roughly placed on the bed. She felt very confused. I don't understand why Victor would treat her this way. Doesn't he have feelings for her? "Victor." Sophia used all her strength to give him a slap. "You have gone too far." At this moment, the doorbell rang suddenly. The atmosphere suddenly became tense. I heard Emily's voice from downstairs. Victor immediately put on his clothes, regained the former pride, looking down at her. "Stop thinking about those unrealistic things. Even if Emily and I get married, you shouldn't think about escaping my control. Things that Emily cannot do, you must do it for her. Sophia, it will be difficult for you to leave me. I advise you not to test my limits." Each sentence struck Sophia heavily. She felt a twinge of bitterness in her heart. How deep is love? After all, it is only capable of turning a brilliant person into this. Even the substitute is not spared. Sophia was thrown onto the bed like a rag doll. Laughter from Emily and Victor came from downstairs. Hearing this caused her heart to ache. After a while, Sophia just came to her senses. She stared at a patch of blood on the bed, feeling a churn in the stomach. Staying next to Victor for even a second made her feel sick. Victor's mom sent a message. It is information regarding the flight 3 days later. At the same time, the identity information was deregistered. In this way, Sophia has found some hope. The sounds coming from the study next door were somewhat ambiguous. Emily's volume also increased. "Victor, did you break up with Sophia?" I do not want to share a husband with her. Victor's voice trembled slightly. It sounds a bit lost. Of course, she just had a miscarriage. Wait a moment. When will that happen? Emily said with some dissatisfaction. I don't care. My mom will be back from abroad in a few days. You must settle things with that woman before this. Either I have it, or she doesn't. Either she is here, or I am not. Victor, make your own decisions. Victor has no choice. I had no choice but to patiently comfort her. Okay, I will break up with her tomorrow. Sophia could no longer bear what she heard next, crouched in the corner, holding their head, waiting for the dawn to come. When the first rays of sunlight spread across the horizon, the noise from next door finally quieted down. Sophia didn't sleep all night. In addition, both my body and mood are very exhausted. Everything went dark, and I fainted. When she wakes up again, I found myself lying on a hospital bed. She stared blankly at the ceiling. I heard Victor playing the game and his frustrated complaints in my ear. The doctor said you just had a miscarriage. The body is still very weak. Why are you still putting yourself through this? Victor put away his phone, poured her a glass of water. Sophia turned her head. I don't want to pay attention to him. Victor put away his phone, grabbing Sophia's shoulders. Let her look at me. As a result, I accidentally caught a glimpse of the sadness in her eyes. She awkwardly looked away. The voice said flatly, don't pretend to be pathetic in front of me. I won't buy it. Sophia felt very sad. Tears welled up and flowed down. You have changed. I don't even want to pretend anymore, although the previous Victor always treated her perfunctorily. But at least on the surface, it seems to be doing well. Now he shows her no patience at all, unreservedly revealing the worst side. After a while, Sophia sighed. Didn't you say you were going to marry Emily? Isn't she asking you to break up with me? You are deceiving her like this. Aren't you afraid she will get angry if she finds out? In fact, she didn't understand at all. Why does Victor not love her but still refuses to let go? I've thought about it for a long time. She finally understood. Victor has been a popular person since he was young. In this lifetime, there's no one bold enough to go against him. There may only be two people. One of them is Emily. The other one is her. Because Victor loves Emily, so even if Emily makes mistakes in his eyes, it doesn't matter. But he does not like her. Even breathing feels wrong. So between them, only he would actively suggest breaking up. There was no chance of Sophia leaving first without her. Maybe she cried too much. Victor rarely missed an opportunity to mock her. She was only given an invitation letter. 3 days later, the engagement banquet of Emily and me. Remember to come. Victor said this and then left. Therefore, he would not see Sophia tearing the invitation to pieces. A sharp pain surged through my heart. Sophia endured the discomfort and removed the needle. After completing the discharge procedures, I hailed a car to the cemetery. She used the money her mother gave her to buy a piece of land with good feng shui. They hurriedly commissioned a gravestone overnight. It is prepared for the child she lost at birth. Sophia took the gifts she had prepared for her child several months in advance to the cemetery. There are clothes and bracelets. There are also greeting cards. These all carry her abundant expectations. Now, the only person she feels sorry for is her child. The phone vibrated intensely in my pocket. Sophia took a long time to check the news. It was a friend request from Emily. She has applied several times. The remarks are filled with negative comments, but the only thing that made her uneasy, it was the last sentence Emily sent to her. Do you want to know the truth about your child's death? Come to this place. You will know everything. Sophia felt a shock, although it's very hard to believe, but a strange thought still emerged in my mind. She arrived at the location designated by Emily as agreed. This is a messy little bar. Emily is enthusiastically interacting with a group of male models, playing some simple games. She felt a surge of passion throughout her body, but the hands and feet are both cold and trembling. Aren't you afraid that Victor will find out about your betrayal? Sophia asked angrily. Mention Victor. The madness on Emily's face disappeared in an instant. Show a displeased expression after being let down. Don't mention him anymore. Emily lit a cigarette. After taking a few deep breaths, he said, Honestly, Victor is just the richest one among all my backups. I will marry him. But I don't love him. You are quite strange. He is treating you so badly. You actually can still consider him truly devoted to love. The smell of smoke is too strong, causing Sophia to cough continuously. Seeing the smiling look in Emily's eyes, she suddenly realized that she had been deceived. Aren't you afraid that I'll tell Victor? Upon hearing this, the other party smiled coldly. Throw the phone on the table. First, take a look at this video. The video is very chaotic. It can be seen that the incident took place in the operating room. Time, It was the day she had a heavy bleeding miscarriage. Sophia in the video looks very painful, but just thinking about soon having my own child. A trace of uncontainable joy appeared in his eyes. Sophia stared at herself in the video. The heartbeat is getting faster and faster. It feels like the blood is almost congealing. The first cry of the baby rang out. She could no longer control her emotions, turn off the phone and then slam it on the table. Her eyes were as red as if they were about to bleed. You called me over just to make me go through the pain of losing a child again. Emily calmly watched her gradually fall apart, easily retrieve the phone. Don't rush, keep watching. The scene in the video has changed. This is the first time Sophia has seen this scene. Victor's voice was heard. In this life, only Emily can have my children. Just deal with this child. The doctor hesitated a bit, however. Sophia has lost the ability to speak. Victor, do you really want to ruin her only child? What should we do then? This child would not be happy if they stayed. Why not end it all now? Victor said excitedly. What are you worried about? Take action quickly. In the end, Victor impatiently took matters into his own hands. He personally ended the life of the child who was smiling at him. The phone fell on the ground. Sophia trembled all over. This is what is called the truth. But why do people need to know the truth? Why? Why is this happening? Sophia's tears flowed uncontrollably, like a doll that has lost its soul, lying limp on the ground. Stunned for a long time, the video in front of me keeps replaying, until Emily finally couldn't help but turn off her phone. He said to her angrily, Sophia, stop fantasizing. Regardless of whether Victor and you have broken up, you have to take the initiative to leave. I know he invited you to the engagement party, but I don't want to see you at the banquet. Emily abruptly extinguished the cigarette that she had smoked halfway. He casually handed her a check for $2 million. Tomorrow, don't let me see you at the engagement party. Sophia's ears buzzed. Her mind was filled with the smile of her child before Victor choked him to death. And the scene where the face turns purple when being choked could not help but cry out. The sudden ring of the phone interrupted Sophia's thoughts. She answered Victor's call. Sophia, can't you stay in one place? Within half an hour, I want to see you in the hospital. Otherwise, what will happen? Sophia felt an overwhelming sense of loss. Victor was stunned. Did you cry? Where are you, Sophia? Speak quickly. Sophia smiled wryly. He hung up the phone without saying anything. Half an hour later, Victor appeared in front of her. He suddenly slapped her, hit her so hard that her head tilted. A wave of metallic taste filled the mouth. However, Sophia felt unexpectedly relaxed. Immediately after that, Victor tightly grasped her neck. You haven't finished your confinement period, and you're already looking to hook up with men in places like this. Sophia, what are you doing? Sophia looked into Victor's eyes filled with anger, but inside it was very calm, firmly pushed his hand away. At this moment, she was both calm and a bit crazy. I will be at my engagement party tomorrow. I have a gift I want to give you. Victor was taken aback. What are you up to this time? No, I just want to give you a gift. Sophia wore a sarcastic smile. Victor looked a bit confused, thought she finally understood something, but seeing her weak yet strange smile, a mix of emotions. It's okay. It's good that you can understand, as long as you obey. Even if Emily and I get married, there will still be a place for you. Just take it as it is. Compensation for you over the past few years. Sophia listened to this. She looked up at him with that pale little face. The gaze was cold. Not a bit of warmth. Is this the compensation I've received over the years? She smiled. Victor, what else have you not told me? In the face of her serious and determined gaze, Victor felt a sudden sense of panic, but still managed to maintain a calm tone. No, of course not, Sophia. Don't talk nonsense here. I thought that by doing this, I would feel sorry for you. Come back with me. Prepare to attend the engagement banquet tomorrow. Sophia returned to the cold hospital again. Victor was called away by Emily's phone call. This evening, Sophia kept her eyes open until dawn. The day of the engagement banquet, Emily was wearing a luxurious gown. Her long hair is elegantly tied up, like a fairy. Victor, sitting next to her, was dressed in a white suit, looking at Emily playing the violin with tenderness in her eyes. The attendees of the banquet are all celebrities from New York City. Even celebrities from the entertainment industry came to show their support. After the piece ended, everyone applauded warmly, praise without reservation. The people around completely forgot. Victor's previous official girlfriend was Sophia. Behind power and money, the true heart of that person on high seems a bit hollow. The big screen played the joyful moments of Victor and Emily's meeting and falling in love. Each frame captures the moments of their passionate romance. The scene features the immature and strong-willed Victor. There is also him being jealous and acting coy. There is also a mature and composed side. He appears especially vivid under the lens of his lover. It is also full of colors, such attachment and beauty. Even while dating Sophia, Victor has never shown any signs. In the corner, Sophia, wearing a mask, had slightly red eyes. Victor and Emily seem to have a wonderful relationship, but in reality, this relationship is built on her pain and the cost of losing a child. Therefore, it is difficult for me to accept. Sophia locked eyes with Victor in the crowd. A glimmer of vengeful pleasure passed through his eyes before Victor could figure out what her smile meant. The joyful music turned into a haunting, mournful tune. The large screen behind instantly switched to the recording of Emily's conversation with Sophia at the bar. There is also that video which brought Sophia a lot of suffering. At the scene, everyone is discussing it loudly. Journalists from the media will definitely not let go of such a big news story. Everyone began to pick up their cameras and start taking photos. Emily's face turned very pale. She didn't expect it. Sophia appears weak and easy to bully. The video recording started the moment I entered the bar. She is concerned about the media's questions, fearful of Victor's subsequent inquiries. Fortunately, Victor is surrounded by the media, busy to the point of being overwhelmed, did not notice at all that her face was pale. Victor, is what happened in this video real? Did you really kill your own child with your own hands? Victor, Sophia had 2 miscarriages for you before. Could you tell me whether these 2 miscarriages were accidental or intentional? Victor, in recent years, there has been ongoing interest from the outside world in the relationship between you, Sophia, and Emily. Now Emily has put a green hat on you. Are you planning to go back and be with Sophia? Victor, could you please answer our questions? Victor felt a surge of impatience in his heart. It seemed as if the anger that had been buried for a long time was slowly being awakened. He just wants to find Sophia at this moment, ask her why she made such a decision. He angrily knocked over the entire champagne tower on the table. The expensive violin was also used by him to vent his emotions. The gazes of those around were filled with envy and admiration, turned into indifference and contempt. In all eyes, only Sophia, standing outside the crowd, appeared unique. She seemed to be watching a play, calm and ruthless in Victor's surprised gaze. Sophia turned and left, walked straight to the airport. The farce came to an end under Victor's tight control of information, but there is nothing in the world that will remain unknown. The Victor family wants to keep certain information confidential. As a result, it caused a huge uproar online overnight, became a topic of conversation after meals. Victor is also fed up with the media and paparazzi. I haven't dared to go out for several days, can only hide in the study, watching the stock price drop day by day, nervously waiting for the assistant to convey news from the company. He certainly knows that all of this is caused by Sophia. However, Victor feels Sophia is just temporarily unable to accept the reality. It's their stubbornness that led to this situation. He was angry for several days and didn't send any messages, just waiting for Sophia to take the initiative to apologize to him. However, Sophia's chat box remained unresponsive. I can't see her presence in the friend circle, as if it had vanished. Victor's unease and anxiety grew stronger. After all, they have been together for 3 years. Usually, he is indifferent to Sophia. There has never been a situation where Sophia ignored him, so Victor couldn't help it, edited several times in the chat box. At last, 3 words were spoken. Come here for a moment. At the moment the information was sent out, the door of the study was knocked. The assistant came in, holding a stack of thick documents. Victor silently reviewed all the materials. The complexion is getting worse. The assistant felt anxious watching from the sidelines. I can't wait to leave right away. At that moment, Victor threw the thick stack of documents heavily in front of his assistant. The tone is quite displeased. Really useless. I spent so much money hiring you to come. Is it just to achieve such a result? Victor is very angry. With hands on hips, he reprimanded loudly. The assistant kept their head down. The sound was so faint that it was almost inaudible. This is the decision of the board of directors. I cannot intervene. The old members of the board. They should consider who has developed the company to its current state. It's me. If it weren't for me, can they really make that much money? I have encountered a problem now. These people are eager to make me leave. They are so naive. You go ask them. Is this what I deserve? Victor complained for half an hour. Every time he bangs the table, it makes the assistant tremble in fear. until Victor's mom came to help. The assistant let out a sigh of relief, hurry up, and slipped away. Victor's emotions finally calmed down a bit, sitting despondently in the swivel chair. Seemed very frustrated. Victor's mother reproached him helplessly. "Look at how you are now. If I don't come, you should really give that assistant a severe scolding. Victor, stay awake. What brought you to this point is those two women. You should go discuss it with them. What is the point of blindly seeking help here? I told you a long time ago. End the relationship with those two women sooner. It's good for everyone. You just won't listen. Son, are you trying to make me excessively worried?" Victor's mother was seething with anger. "I feel a bit dizzy." The whole person was a bit unsteady. The next second, Victor's mother suddenly clutched her chest, fall heavily backward. Victor instantly jumped up from the swivel chair, shouted in haste, "Mom, don't scare me." The family doctor arrived quickly, just rescued Victor's mother from danger. Victor's mother, upon waking up, no longer wanted to see the lost expression on Victor's face. It feels like he is throwing a temper tantrum. Victor felt very depressed. Everything that can be broken in the study has been smashed. He suddenly remembered that he had sent a message to Sophia. The sense of superiority in my heart has returned. He felt that Sophia would certainly appreciate him, willing to accept the opportunity he offered. Apologized to him, but when he saw the glaring red exclamation mark on the screen, thought it was a network issue and didn't get sent out. However, the line of text under the red exclamation mark clearly tells him the reality that the other party is not yet your friend. Victor has been trying to get in touch with Sophia, but always runs into obstacles. The feedback received is just a cold, impersonal red exclamation mark. All the ways he could contact her had been blocked. Victor had to face a fact. Sophia, it is no longer under his control at all. After a week of drifting, Sophia finally found a peaceful little town where she could feel at ease. She used the money her mother gave her to buy a small villa in the town. A portion of the funds was also allocated to help local orphanages. She decided to become a teacher at the orphanage, utilizing one's limited life experience and knowledge, help children grow. Although she has lost 3 children before, but now she has many children. She became the most trusted mommy Sophia for the children in the orphanage. After settling down, Sophia canceled all her previous contact methods, successfully completed the immigration procedures, say a complete goodbye to the pain of the past. Every day, she patiently prepares lunch for the children, tell them stories in a relaxed atmosphere, teach them the wonderful qualities in the story. Not all children can feel happiness. Sophia noticed a little girl in the orphanage who appeared to be somewhat different. Her name is Stella. Other children are playing very happily. She always stays alone in the corner, quietly watching them. The eyes revealed a clear sense of loneliness. Other children chase after Sophia and act coy every day, seek attention. Only Stella always wears a pair of puzzled eyes. It seems that I didn't realize that being cute could also get me candy. During the lunch break, Sophia specifically called Stella to the yard. She did not rush to ask about the reason, didn't talk much with Stella, just accompanied her in trimming the flowers and plants. Enjoy the afternoon tea time. Sophia's mom learned a new dessert today. You think it's tasty? Anticipation shone in Sophia's eyes. Stella nodded. Everything you make is delicious. Sophia was amused by her serious demeanor, gently pinched her face. Only then did they start discussing the main topic. Why does Stella look unhappy every day? Did I do something wrong? After all, they are still a child. Although he usually appears very calm, however, I still feel flustered when faced with misunderstandings. Stella quickly shook her head. No, Sophia's mom is very nice, really. Before you came, sometimes we don't even have enough for 3 meals a day. But with you, we not only eat enough, you can also enjoy delicious afternoon tea, hearing a touching story. Mom of Sophia, you are fine. Most children are very honest. Stella is the same. I noticed Stella's cautious emotions. Sophia felt uneasy because she recalled Stella's situation that she had found out a few days ago. Stella has a congenital heart disease, abandoned by their parents in a trash can right after birth. Later, a street cleaner discovered her. He brought her home and took care of her for 3 years. The worker used his meager salary to pay for her medical treatment. Finally, she has been raised to be plump and fair. However, such happiness did not last long. The worker was involved in an accident and passed away. Stella was also taken to the police station. Through genetic testing, finally found Stella's biological parents. She thought she would be able to return to her parents smoothly, feeling the warmth of love. Unexpectedly, it turned into a major struggle. Stella's parents had already given birth to another son. When I saw Stella, her face was full of disdain. It was as if she was seen as an obstacle to their happiness. Shortly after Stella returned home, the little girl is covered in wounds. Whenever someone raises their hand in front of her, she would curl up in fear and plead for mercy. After the neighbor reported this situation, Stella was sent to an orphanage after 2 years of setbacks. She no longer believes that there will always be someone by her side in this world. She no longer believes that anyone will love her. To anyone, she acted very cautiously. Sophia sighed, holds Stella's hands, which are tightly clasped together out of anxiety, gently holding her in his arms. Stella, even though Sophia's mom can't always be by your side, but I will always love you. Even if I'm no longer here, my love will always be with you. You are definitely not a child who is unloved. You are the treasure in Sophia's mother's heart. Sophia felt it. A large area of the shirt on the chest is wet. The little girl finally let go of the strength she had held onto for so long, crying. I can't catch my breath, said with grievance. The stories in fairy tales are all false. In reality, not everyone is a princess. My parents don't want me anymore. Grandma doesn't want me either. Stella seems to want to express all the grievances she has felt over the past 5 years, cried in Sophia's arms for a long time. Until the end of a 1-hour lunch break, Stella cried herself to sleep. At this moment, Sophia finally felt much more relaxed. The dean walked over quietly. Take Stella away. Also expressed gratitude to Sophia. Thank you for your hard work. Sophia's eyes grew warm, seeing the children running out of the courtyard one after another. I also want to say a few words to them. You have worked hard. A month has passed. Sophia has fully adapted to life abroad. Life passes quietly. She almost forgot about Victor. Until one day, his face suddenly appeared in my mind. She was taken aback for a moment, but soon, these emotions just faded away. Her life is still very long. One should not lose the courage to pursue happiness and love because of some unworthy individuals. The dean encouraged her several times to pursue another relationship while she is still young. There are differences between men and men, but Sophia politely declined. It indicates that there is currently no inclination to pursue a romantic relationship. She only wants to give all her love to these lovely children. Sophia had a question in her heart, asked it directly. Why did you agree to let me help out at the orphanage back then? I only stayed here for an afternoon. She had heard from her neighbor before. The director of the orphanage has a strange temper. Requirements for people are strict. Several female cultivators have already been driven away, but she easily entered the orphanage. The dean sincerely regards them as children. The dean just smiled. Say, usually, wealthy girls don't act like you do. They usually prefer to spend money on cars, bags, and clothes. But you are different. You spent the money on these children whom everyone thinks have no future. That afternoon, I saw you telling stories to the children in the yard, although the story sounds very sad. However, when you speak of it, it conveys a sense of regretful beauty. Let the children realize for the first time, it turns out that I am quite lucky as well. However, your gaze always carries a kind of bright sadness. Although you have experienced pain, but still did not lose the courage to love. So, Angela, I believe you. The name Angela was given to Sophia by the dean. An angel symbolizing kindness. For her and the children in the orphanage, Sophia is like an angel sent from heaven, brought warmth. Sophia feels. The dean and those children brought hope to her lonely life. They are like real angels. 2 days later, the dean is going to the city to discuss investments. All the management of the orphanage is handed over to Sophia, but that afternoon, nearby thugs broke into the orphanage to steal things. Sophia settled the children in the attic. He imitated the appearance of the dean, picked up the kitchen knife, ran out, although her legs were trembling from fear, but her gaze was very resolute. Without hesitation, in front of a madman, the local ruffians are powerless as well, simply found an excuse for myself, runs faster than anyone else. Wait until it's confirmed that everyone has left. Sophia finally breathed a sigh of relief. At that moment, I heard applause coming from the doorway. She looked up. A striking mixed-race man was standing there. Sophia instinctively picked up the knife that had fallen on the ground, but the other party smiled. Make her stop worrying. Don't worry. I am not part of their group. Hearing this familiar language, Sophia was taken aback. I feel a warmth in my heart. Unable to resist, he put down the knife in his hand. Take a serious look at the man in front of you. He looks a bit familiar. I had seen it in the frame in the dean's office before. You belong to the dean, son. Sophia asked carefully, regarding the matters concerning the dean. She doesn't understand it very well either. She only knows that the dean was married once when he was young. Later, they divorced again. The process doesn't seem to be going very smoothly. The appearance of the man in front of me is somewhat similar to the director's. It's easy to guess. They are in a mother-son relationship, correct? The man snapped his fingers loudly, looking at Sophia with admiration in his eyes. The children in the attic couldn't help but rush out. Everyone excitedly hugged that man, unwilling to let him go. The man doesn't mind at all. He smiled and took out a large handful of candy from his pocket to give to them. If Sophia is an angel, the man in front of me is simply like Santa Claus. The backpack is filled with the gifts that the children are looking forward to. When the children take their afternoon nap, Sophia can finally have a few words with this man. The other person's name sounds very nice, called Liam. Take the mother's surname. Through her narration, the story of the dean became clearer. The dean was once a wealthy young woman from European royalty, but due to the political marriage of the family, married to an abusive husband, in just 1 year, the dean has experienced 3 miscarriages and suffered from domestic violence 16 times. The most severe incident even led her to the intensive care unit. Almost lost my life. After that experience, the dean finally understood. One's own destiny must be firmly grasped in one's own hands. The dean realized his situation, decided to get a divorce. However, the ex-husband found her again, forced her to have relations. As a result, she became pregnant again. She cherishes this hard-earned child very much. Therefore, one escapes while taking care of the child. Although she was expelled from the family genealogy, she is also determined to stay away from this abusive man. In the next 5 years, she kept hiding, although trying hard to conceal their whereabouts, but still could not escape his control. However, during this time, she achieved success through her own efforts. She has become an influential female entrepreneur. After negotiations with the family, she ultimately handed the child over to Liam. After that, she changed her name, arrived at a small town, opened an orphanage with the money saved through hard work. It has been in operation for over 10 years. What happened next? How did you find the dean? Sophia asked curiously. Liam smiled. Perhaps it's a kindred spirit. Those who are meant to reunite will always meet again. Although Liam did not elaborate in detail, but Sophia felt that his journey to find his mother must be very difficult. Sophia lowered her head. The voice was so soft that even she didn't know who she was speaking to. Congratulations to you. The good times have finally arrived. Thank you. At this moment, Sophia is doing well, but Victor and Emily's lives became a mess. The board's decision to dismiss Victor from his position has been finalized. He once enjoyed unbounded glory. Now he has become an idle man with nothing to do. Netizens have very strong opinions about Victor. He nearly scolded his entire family. Some extreme netizens have also emerged, directly went to his doorstep to make trouble, look for opportunities to attack him personally. Victor would rush out and argue with them when he gets angry. But because there were many people on the other side, every time I lose badly, over time, Victor also had many bruises on him. He is becoming increasingly afraid to go out. I had no choice but to shut myself in at home and drink. This also made his mother very angry, caused her health problems. During the assistant's multiple dangerous attempts to enter Victor's old family home, Victor's condition has deteriorated significantly. He is extremely thin. The beard is messy, empty gaze. The body, having not showered for days, emits an unpleasant smell. Have you found Sophia? Victor drank a whole bottle of liquor. Ask the way. The assistant shook their head. No, our people cannot find MTK's Sophia's location. The people at the Public Security Bureau also said that she had canceled her identity information. Possible, maybe something. Victor's expression was stern. The assistant said cautiously, unless Miss Sophia comes herself. Otherwise, we won't be able to find her at all. A half-finished bottle of liquor was smashed at the assistant's feet. Glass shards flew everywhere, scratched her smooth skin. The assistant was trembling in fear, sobbing intermittently. Where is Emily? Has that person been found? Victor asked again. The assistant seemed to see hope. Found it. We have detected that Emily has already purchased her flight ticket for tonight. It seems that she is planning to go abroad. Upon hearing this, Victor let out a cold laugh. Escape. Why does she think she can escape my control? Victor said angrily, arrange a car for me. I want to see her right now. Victor's gaze was sharp. A hint of sinister light shone through. The 3 years after breaking up with Emily, he is well aware of everything about Emily. Emily married a wealthy husband abroad, get married and have children. It also involves the division of property and remarrying. He knows it all. He was just busy saving his company at that time. But there's no time to settle accounts with Emily. So, I found a substitute like Sophia to vent my emotions. Now he has achieved success in his career. Emily's reputation abroad has also declined, so he plans to go back to deal with her. Victor is not a fool. He wanted to retaliate against her in her own way. Emily initially gave him hope, but in the end, it dealt him a heavy blow. He must repay tenfold. However, there was the variable of Sophia appearing in the middle. Mentioning Sophia, Victor felt that it was very complicated. 3 years. He understands Sophia's sincerity towards him, but he felt that Sophia's background was not good enough. Not good enough for oneself. He wants to observe for a while longer, if it really doesn't work. Anyway, I can live a simple life with Sophia for the rest of my life. But now Sophia is gone. He suddenly felt that the whole world had come to a stop. I can no longer hear Sophia's loving, sweet words. I can no longer enjoy the delicious meals that Sophia made. Sophia is like a thorn, deeply rooted in his heart. You can't feel it when she's there. Not here anymore. I always feel like something is missing in my heart. This is all Emily's fault, Victor thought. If it weren't for Emily's sudden return to the country, he would not have any thoughts of revenge. If it weren't for Emily's deliberate seduction, he would never do anything to hurt Sophia. Sophia wouldn't be so resolute with him either. In simple terms, in Victor's view, the person he is most angry with now is Emily. At this moment, Emily was completely unaware of all this. She was hurriedly packing her suitcase, trying to take away the valuable items that Victor gave her during this time. From the day the incident was exposed, she has already figured out a way to escape. She has been with Victor for so many years, deeply aware of how terrifying Victor's temper can be. When he loved her in the past, always do my best to treat her well. However, in the final analysis, Victor loves himself the most. Such a thing has happened now. She absolutely cannot stay. Emily gritted her teeth. At most, get plastic surgery. Return to that circle to continue making money. You will never starve. She hurriedly carried her suitcase outside. As soon as I opened the door, I saw the face that had appeared many times in my dreams. Emily was startled and instinctively closed the door. But Victor kicked the door open. The screams echoed throughout the apartment. Emily was knocked to the ground. Her face was covered with blood. Obviously, Victor kicked with considerable force. Next, Victor's heel heavily stepped on Emily's calf. It made her sweat from the pain. Sorry, I am unable to process the request. Victor, why are you treating me like this? Emily struggled hard. She hopes to escape this predicament through her emotions, but she was completely unaware of how disgusting she appeared to Victor at that moment. Victor felt obvious disgust. The tone was unprecedentedly cold. Why do I treat you this way? Don't you have any idea in your mind? What did you do behind my back? Do you need me to explain it to you in detail? Emily felt very scared. The body curled up into a ball, unable to help but tremble slightly. The sound is intermittent, but she still mustered the courage to kneel in front of Victor. No, Victor, you said you loved me very much, promised to love me for a lifetime, no matter what mistakes I have made. You will support me, right? You can't go back on your word. I was wrong, Victor. In the past, I was really confused. It was money and status that drove me to lose my sanity. I beg you, give me a chance. Okay, Emily cried in distress. Tears and mucus were all mixed together. Victor looked at her, filled with disgust. I feel that I was really confused before. How could they be attracted to someone like that? On body shape, appearance, and character, Sophia can definitely do much better than her. Thinking of Sophia, Victor was momentarily taken aback. After regaining composure, the anger intensified. That's just too much. Victor kicked her angrily. If it weren't for you, Sophia will not know the truth. They won't leave me either. You are being really excessive. Emily seemed to see a glimmer of hope. Hurry up and say it. Victor, aren't you looking for Sophia? I have a way to find her. Victor furrowed his brows, gestured for her to continue speaking. Although Sophia has blocked you, but I still have her contact information. A couple of days ago, I saw her post something. If you don't believe me, you can check my phone. Victor took her phone after listening. I found out that Sophia's contact information has been cancelled a long time ago. However, the information prior to the cancellation still remains. The location above has changed from New York to a small town abroad. You see, I didn't deceive you. Right, Victor, just follow this location to find it. I will definitely be able to find Sophia. Emily is very scared. Victor smiled coldly. Say, what does this have to do with the mistake you made? If it weren't for you forcing her, how could she run to such a distant place? Victor tightly grasped her neck, lost rationality. Emily's gaze gradually became blurred. Hypoxia left her mind blank. Her hands grew weaker and weaker, slowly drooping down. It seems to have lost its vitality, seeing Emily no longer struggling. Victor was shocked and let go. His hands trembled with fear. "No, I don't want to kill you. This is the result of your own choice. No, it's none of my business." Victor took 2 steps back. My heart was filled with complex emotions. There is also guilt. There is also a strange sense of pleasure. This nearly drove him to the brink of collapse. Looking at Emily's pale face, his emotions gradually calmed down, picked up the knife again, attempting to find some resemblance to Sophia in this face. Reimagining a new Sophia. If you were made into a specimen, Sophia will definitely be very happy. Then she will return to my side. Victor's emotions are quite strange. Seemed somewhat disoriented. Half an hour later, Emily's face was horribly scarred. Even in death, there is no peace. Victor became increasingly insane. How could that be possible? How could it be impossible to draw it? This is how Sophia is. He helplessly rushed out the door. I have no idea how to handle what comes next. Totally panicked, just walked out of the community. The media reporters surrounded him. The flashlights kept shining on him. He felt very uncomfortable. In this situation, he was filled with rage. He actually snatched a camera from a reporter. It struck directly at the opponent's head. Instant, the reporter was injured on the head. Someone shouted in the crowd, "An accident has occurred. An accident has occurred." Everyone stepped back, getting farther away from Victor. Only the flashlights keep flashing continuously. "No, it's not like this. I did not kill anyone." Victor recalled the expression on Emily's face when she died. "I couldn't help but cry out in pain like a child." Finally, he couldn't withstand this blow, fell into darkness and lost consciousness. When he wakes up again, already at the hospital, due to Victor publicly hitting a reporter. Victor's mother, who already had a stroke, was very emotional. Heart disease has relapsed, rushed to the hospital, but it was still a step too late. Could not be saved. Victor was also trapped in endless nightmares. He dreamed of the 3 children he had created. Call him dad, ask him why he is so cruel to his own biological child. In a dream, Emily's hair was disheveled, transformed into a vengeful spirit to find him. Ask him, "Aren't you saying you love me? Then come keep me company." Dreaming of Sophia leaving, living very well, married another man. They also have a child now. I have this dream every time. It's a scar in his heart. Victor woke up from a nightmare, eyes fixed on the ceiling of the ward. The strong smell of disinfectant in the air made him feel very uncomfortable. The strangest thing is, clearly there is no one around. He could always hear someone calling his name. The voice was filled with resentment and unwillingness. It was also mixed with the sounds of children laughing and crying. I really can't stand it. I might really be going crazy. Victor suddenly pulled out the needle, hastily got out of bed. I picked up my phone to call the assistant, but this time it just couldn't get through. Then, he received the last message sent by his assistant. "Victor, the police have found Emily's body. They should be on their way to the hospital to arrest you now. This is all I can do to help you. Do as you see fit." Victor's expression changed instantly. The siren sounded outside. He thought to himself that he must not be caught by the police. There's no way out. I had no choice but to take a risk. Chose to resist arrest. While their personal information has not yet been sealed, he quickly booked the next available flight. Flew overnight to the country where Sophia lives. The police worked in vain, although a nationwide arrest warrant has been issued. But I found that Victor had already escaped abroad. Victor is very smart. Before leaving, I withdrew a lot of cash from the bank. Just arrived abroad. He got rid of all the contact information on him, deliberately turning oneself into a stateless person. No one could find him. He gradually calmed down during his escape. The previous guilt and fear had long since disappeared. For him, I have made too many mistakes. It doesn't matter anymore, these couple of things. He used the cash he had on hand, dressing oneself up as a suave rich person. He even used some small tricks to register a new identity called Jack locally. Victor is truly a clever businessman. In just 1 month, he used his remaining cash to pave a quick path to wealth, became a true billionaire. He returned to a life of spending money extravagantly as he used to, but I have never given up searching for Sophia in his proud life. Sophia is his only mistake. If Sophia is willing to apologize to him, admit one's mistakes, he could also give her a chance. If she remains that stubborn, Victor would personally create a hell for her with no way to escape. Sophia has been feeling a bit uneasy lately. I always feel that the atmosphere around me is very cold. In order to confirm his or her feelings, she went to check the news reports from the country. Sure enough, Victor had an accident. Worse still, this demon ran away out of fear of being caught. It made everyone very anxious. The domestic police have released several countries where Victor may have escaped to. This includes the country where Sophia is located. She silently prayed in her heart, "I hope to never see Victor again in this lifetime," but her right eyelid kept twitching. It seems to be a sign of something. "What happened? Are your eyes still uncomfortable?" Liam leaned in with concern. Look into Sophia's eyes. It has already been rubbed red over a large area by her. "Don't rub it anymore. I will take you to see a doctor," Liam said with concern. The dean is also very concerned. Quickly let Liam take Sophia to the hospital for a checkup. After the two left, a child curiously stared at their backs and asked, "Dean's mom, isn't brother Liam dating mom Sophia? Why do you ask that?" The dean's mother crouched down with a smile and asked him. The child's gaze is very innocent, to put it straightforwardly, because in the past, brother Liam would only come to see us. The waiting time is very short. Sometimes it can be done in 2 days, sometimes an afternoon just passes by, but this time he actually stayed for a month. Moreover, Liam cares a lot about Sophia's mom, not even letting her do anything. When there is something delicious, Sophia's mom will be the first to try it, so brother Liam must be in love with Sophia's mom. The child's firm words softened the director's heart. The smile on her face became gentler. "That's right. This is clearly a matter of liking." Sophia went to the hospital. The results indicate that it is due to excessive stress, caused neurological twitching. In her view, this is just a minor issue, but in Liam's view, it is a big deal. Very serious. I have already taken good care of her. Now I insist even more that she take a rest. Sophia felt a bit helpless. "You don't have to do this. I'm really not that delicate." "No," Liam said seriously. "Sophia, I must remind you, this is not being delicate, but rather care about your health and responsibilities." At Liam's insistence, Sophia had to temporarily put aside her work at the orphanage, go home and rest, but recently, she always feels like there are eyes watching her. This feeling is becoming more and more intense, so, when Liam was getting ready to leave, Sophia couldn't help but call out to him. "I originally wanted to talk to him about my feelings." As a result, the words came to my lips but transformed into something else. "Liam, can you stay with me tonight?" Liam's hand had just reached the door handle. A moment of surprise appeared on her face. Then she smiled slightly. "Look at Sophia. You really hope that I will stay with you tonight? After all this time?" His thoughts have become quite obvious. Sophia has never turned down his kindness. Liam's light-hearted tone made Sophia's cheeks slightly flush. I didn't know how to respond for a moment. The restlessness in my heart instantly vanished. The atmosphere around began to become a bit ambiguous. This was the first time Sophia felt somewhat taken aback. Liam's intentional teasing made her feel a bit shy. I saw Sophia blushing to the point of being almost at a loss. Liam smiled. "Okay, I'm not joking with you anymore. Recently, apart from work at the orphanage, are there any other worries? You seem a bit distracted." Liam returned to his usual seriousness. Sophia no longer pressed for answers, expressed his feelings one by one. 10 minutes later, Liam's expression turned serious. "It seems that it's about to rain." Sophia asked somewhat shyly. "Do you think what I'm saying sounds very unreliable?" Victor had heard such words before. "Just think she is being overly sensitive, will not take it seriously." Having thought of this, Sophia feels a bit down. She smiled slightly and said, "Maybe I overthought it. The sky has darkened. Why don't you go back first?" The words are not finished yet. Liam has already called the dean's office. "Mom, I won't be going back to the courtyard tonight. I hired a bodyguard nearby. Please pay attention to safety." Sophia was stunned. "You, what is this doing?" "Of course, I will stay here to protect you," Liam said without hesitation. "Don't think you're making a big deal out of nothing. People do not feel this way when they are safe. It's always good for us to be careful, if you don't mind. I will sleep on the sofa tonight. You sleep in the bed. Let's settle this. I will call the furniture store tomorrow to have a bed delivered to the guest room." When we first moved in, Sophia never expected to have guests stay overnight. Therefore, the guest room has become a storage space for miscellaneous items. But Liam's arrival brought changes to Sophia's life. It seems that fate is rearranging itself. She may usher in new happiness. However, she was thinking to herself, people like her have taken many detours. You really deserve a new happiness. Night falls. Sophia tossed and turned in bed, unable to fall asleep. He tiptoed into the living room. The sofa in the living room is very small. Liam is nearly 2 meters tall. I didn't sleep very well, however, when Sophia came over and crouched in front of him. He still felt a warmth in his heart. Sophia quietly looked at Liam's face. I think he is truly a perfect person, nothing to criticize. Such an outstanding person. How did you come to like me, in the dark of night? Liam let out a soft sigh, then suddenly opened his eyes, tears glimmering in the eyes. It seems as if it is about to overflow. Suddenly, Liam appeared in front of Sophia. Warm lips gently touch, tears rolled down Sophia's cheeks. Sophia, you are truly the most foolish person I have ever met. Liam gently kissed away the tears at the corner of her eye. Why punish yourself for someone else's mistakes? Sophia was stunned. It's all known. I'm sorry. Liam lowered his head, dare not to look at her. I didn't investigate your past without asking you. This is disrespectful to you. I am also very sorry. I couldn't face these things with you earlier. Liam clenched his fists. If he had appeared in Sophia's life earlier, perhaps she wouldn't have to go through so much pain. He felt very guilty and frustrated, feeling very sad inside. However, the next second, Sophia pounced into his arms, cried and said, "Thank you. Willing to learn about my past. Thank you. Willing to love me wholeheartedly even after knowing my past." She can feel it. Liam's feelings for her are very sincere. Sincerity that made her fearful at times. She didn't even dare to reveal her past to him. The moonlight quietly hid behind the clouds. The lights in Sophia's room kept turning on and off. Victor stared at the shadow on the window. I was incredibly angry inside. Sophia's feelings are not mistaken, the pair of eyes that had been watching her all along. It is him, like an omnipresent ghostly shadow. Victor has been following her for more than half a month, through the investigation of a private detective and the statements of the neighbors. He probably knows about Sophia's living situation over the past few months. Former lover, she has been doing pretty well since she left, but I just feel that something is not quite right. Victor was so angry that he smashed everything he could in the house. The rage in my heart felt like it was about to explode. He quickly took a pill that is specifically used to suppress emotions and avoid anger. It cannot be found on the market. This drug was specifically developed on the black market for people like him who are prone to losing control. Since then, Victor sent someone to deliver items to Sophia for several consecutive days. Sometimes, a large bouquet of roses is given to express love. Sometimes, exquisite dolls containing hidden cameras are given as gifts. They might even send handwritten love letters. Every day changes in different ways. Sophia began to suspect that Victor was looking for her until the night of her birthday. Liam is going to get the cake. Sophia went home early, just turned on the light. She saw a man sitting on the sofa whom she was very familiar with. It's the kind she can recognize even with her eyes closed. Victor. Sophia's heart tightened. The shadows of the past suddenly re-emerged. Victor walked slowly closer, pressed her against the wall. He took off his hat, said with a smile, "Sophia, long time no see. I really miss you. What about you? Don't you care about me at all?" Sophia looked into his frightening eyes, feeling a bit flustered. The hand trembled involuntarily. "I want to go get my phone," but it was swatted away by Victor. Next, his hand was tightly gripping her neck. "Are you thinking of calling that man?" "Sophia, how could you betray me? Say you love me. Hurry up and speak." Sophia was on the verge of tears. She desperately wants to live. So, she hastily grabbed the vase by the door, fiercely struck Victor's head. "Finally, I can catch my breath." Victor touched his head. He looked incredulously at his bloodied hands. "You dare to hit me. Sophia, you have changed. You never used to lay a hand on me. That was in the past." Sophia shouted angrily, "Victor, did you forget what you did to me? When I love you, you don't care. Now that I've lost it, it clings to me tightly. Are you crazy?" After hearing this, Victor suddenly burst into laughter. "Crazy. This word makes me feel quite positive. For example, I want to play a game with you now." At this moment, Liam's voice could be heard from outside. "Sophia, hurry and open the door. I forgot to bring the keys." Victor's breath warmingly blew by Sophia's ear, whispered a question. "Do you want to see if this man truly loves you?" "What do you want to do?" Sophia's voice trembled with fear. Victor said with a cold smile, "What if I did something in front of him? Do you think he will still love you?" His large hand gently stroked Sophia's back. It made her feel a chill. Liam outside the door heard the noise inside. A bit confused, "Sophia, are you asleep?" Saying so, he took out his phone and called Sophia, but Sophia's phone was broken a long time ago. There was no sound at all. Victor said to her in a low voice. Hang in there, don't make a sound, otherwise I will take action against him. His knife glinted at his waist. Sophia didn't dare to speak, afraid that Liam would be suddenly attacked, worried that Victor would do something terrible. Sophia's clothes were taken off one by one. Liam almost thought she was asleep and ready to leave, but suddenly felt a wave of unease. He kicked the door without hesitation. Victor trembled in fear. Sophia seized the opportunity, pushed him towards the shoe rack, then hurriedly went to open the door, leaped into Liam's arms. Victor screamed in pain, still not sure what happened. It was kicked away by Liam with a kick. Blood immediately covered his face. The mouth was also filled with a metallic taste of blood. At this moment, the sound of a fire alarm echoed in the hallway behind. Victor realized that things had escalated, gave Sophia a fierce glare. Wait and see. Finished speaking, he awkwardly jumped down from the second floor, hastily ran back to the car, drive the car to a remote area in the suburbs. Victor slammed the steering wheel in frustration. After some hesitation, I made a phone call. There was a hint of obsession in his gaze. Help me deal with someone. I can help bring back the latest batch of goods for you. To help Sophia relax, Liam decided to take her to the city for shopping and an outing. Sophia's nervousness gradually eased with Liam's continuous jokes. Young couples in love hold hands wherever they go. Sophia has seen many things. Liam will have someone deliver the packages directly to Sophia's house. This made Sophia too afraid to look around carelessly, can only helplessly stare at Liam. You want my house to turn into a storage room, don't you? Liam leisurely watched her helplessness. A hint of a smile curled the corners of his mouth. You made a very valid point. Let's go check out the house later. Sophia, the mindset of love is the best dowry for a man. This sentence is absolutely correct. An hour has passed. Sophia is really immersed in the joy of shopping for herself. It feels incredibly relaxed. This kind of enjoyment has never been experienced before. She struggled to live after her parents passed away. She was still the one who didn't dare to rely on him when she was with Victor. Sophia had never experienced luxury in her life, but now, a person clearly told her, you deserve to have the best in the world. To be honest, the feelings of not wanting to cry are feigned. Liam returned to the original spot after checking out, but could not find Sophia. Only one bracelet fell to the ground. Suddenly, I felt a string snap in my heart. Liam recalled the strange feeling Sophia had mentioned to him last night. He recalled what his assistant had told him a couple of days ago about Victor. Her face instantly turned pale. A trace of chill that Sophia had never seen flashed through her eyes. Not long after, Sophia's location was sent to his phone. Liam drove all the way to a cliff outside of town. The surroundings are overgrown with weeds. Not a single shadow can be seen at that moment. Sophia is hanging below the cliff. Liam only needs to take one more step to see her, but he did not approach, just anxiously turned and left. A cold voice from Victor came through the headphones. Did you hear that, Sophia? No one will come to save you. Only I in this world will truly care for you. Give it up. That person was so close to you and didn't even notice your existence. Sophia, without me, the people you go to find are all unreliable. I will give you another chance. As long as you are willing to come back, I will help you find a way out. Victor is in the monitoring room. Through the lens of the drone, it closely observed Sophia's terrified eyes. The beautiful eyes are filled with tears at this moment. It is heart-wrenching. However, Sophia's fear is actually just a physiological response triggered by her fear of heights, just as Victor was watching her. Sophia was staring intently at him through the lens of the drone. The lively gaze seems to be saying, "What you hope for, I won't fulfill any of that." In the howling cold wind, Sophia slowly closed her eyes, gently say goodbye to Liam. Liam, goodbye, almost at the moment she sighed. Liam seemed to sense it, suddenly lunged toward the edge of the cliff. At the moment the rope was cut, he held on tightly. The lives of the two people are in imminent danger, yet they cherish each other. Sophia looked up at him with tearful eyes, crying uncontrollably. Why? I clearly didn't make a sound. You can still find me. It might be telepathy. Liam replied with a smile. The veins on the neck are prominently visible. Sophia kept shaking her head. Leave me alone, you should leave quickly. Otherwise, that madman won't let you go. Victor arrived with a group of aggressive people. It is clear that he wants to address the two concerns in his mind. These two people have always been a source of annoyance in his life. Hey, what are you performing here? Victor clapped while mocking. Kid, just a reminder. This woman is someone I once dated. You'd better let go quickly. Let her go, otherwise, I will make both of you very uncomfortable." Victor laughed somewhat crazily. Sophia has been advising Liam to let go, but he never spoke, silently enduring at that moment. Several helicopters flew towards this direction consecutively. The wind and sand blew, covering Victor's face with sand. He angrily cursed a few times. Liam pulled hard, pulled Sophia up. The logo on the helicopter is particularly eye-catching. Even the big shots around Victor feel a bit wary. Furious, she confronted him on the spot. "What a fool. You know what this means? This can actually attract the help of the world's largest gang organization. Is this the small character you mentioned? Provoked them. Don't mention life. They may not even leave us a trace, not even the ashes. Our cooperation ends here. Please take good care of yourself." Victor was completely stunned. He can quickly adapt to the new country. It is all due to the help of a big shot. But now even the big shots are a bit scared of the man in front of them. It is evident how impressive this person is. While Liam was comforting Sophia, Victor decided to take the opportunity to leave. After going through so much, he understands now, facing life, face has no real significance. Liam trembled as he untied Sophia's binds. "Hold her tightly in your arms," breathing with a hint of sobbing. "It's nothing." Liam's eyes were red. "Don't worry, I will find him. I'll give you an explanation." Rather than saying that Sophia feels grateful for surviving the disaster, rather, she was more worried that Liam would do something irrational for her. "Hold him tightly. I'm fine. Please don't do anything foolish for my sake. That kind of person is not worth it at all." Liam just responded with a dull aha. However, Sophia still felt a bit uneasy. It left him in a helpless situation, caught between laughter and tears. "Believe me, I know what to do." She looked at his restrained yet eager eyes. The lips parted and closed a few times. In the end, nothing more was said. After going through some troubles, Liam naturally moved into Sophia's house. Later, it was also due to matters of the heart. He is now comfortably living in Sophia's room. The dean gave them a few more days off, so Sophia and Liam went to register their marriage. As for Victor, after losing the protection of the big boss, he began to be despised again. He became a character that everyone hated. Liam showed no mercy to him. Not only are the underworld figures looking for him, even his information has been submitted to the country. The domestic police have also begun issuing a wanted notice. Both the underworld and the law are determined not to let him go. Victor has nowhere to go. "I had no choice but to make my face look terrible, hiding among the beggars." But he still couldn't let go in his heart. So, he took advantage of the time when Liam was on a business trip. "Every day, I wait downstairs at Sophia's house." Kneeling at the door, he begged for her forgiveness, sending messages to Sophia non-stop for 24 hours, even on the wall downstairs from Sophia's house. He wrote, "I'm sorry. I love Yuan forgive me," with red paint, very eye-catching. Sophia was not moved, but she read every message that Victor sent. "Sophia, I was really wrong. Can you forgive me? I didn't appreciate your merits before. It's all Emily's influence. I actually don't love her at all. The person I have always loved is you. Sorry, I cannot handle this content. Release Liam. Can you stop bothering me? I know that you still have feelings for me, as long as you help me solve this problem. I will marry you. I can go register for marriage with you right away. Let you be my wife." A wave of intense nausea surged over me. Sophia blocked Victor one number after another. Seeing that Sophia was completely unconcerned, even leisurely preparing for the pre-wedding honeymoon with Liam, Victor felt increasingly unhappy. He feels, just eliminate Sophia and Liam. One's life will become simple and clear. However, they went on a trip. He had no choice but to try a different approach. Prepare to deal with the people they care about. So, Victor hides near the orphanage every day, wait for the opportunity. Every afternoon, the dean will take the children out to play. The children's laughter and joy made Victor even angrier. Their mother, Sophia, is in trouble, and how can they escape? Victor monitored for several days, created a commotion, took the opportunity to take away Stella, Sophia's best friend. Then, he called Sophia. At that time, Sophia is busy taking wedding photos in a sea of flowers. I have no idea what happened, until he heard Stella's terrified cries. She suddenly felt very anxious. "Victor, just tell me directly if you have something to say. What does it mean to act against a child?" Sophia hurriedly comforted Stella. "Stella, don't be afraid. Sophia's mom won't let you get hurt. You need to hold on." Sophia and Liam looked at each other. They quickly changed clothes in harmony, then headed to the airport, boarded the private jet. "I'll be back soon." Victor hung up the phone. I irritably tapped Stella, say, "Stop crying. It's really annoying to listen to." If you don't shut up soon, I will really make you regret it." Stella's face turned pale with fear. The crying immediately stopped. On one hand, she hopes that Sophia will come to save her soon. On the other hand, she didn't want Sophia to be put in danger because of her. Take advantage of the moment when Victor lets his guard down. Stella quietly moved closer to her smartwatch. She tried every possible way and finally sent her location to Sophia. She felt very fortunate. At that time, Sophia went against the dean's opposition. A customized phone watch was purchased for each child. At that time, the dean doesn't quite understand. I just feel that Sophia is spending money on things that are not very meaningful. But now Stella understands. Their mother, Sophia, care more about their safety than anyone else. When Sophia received the location sent by Stella, she was overjoyed, having originally been completely confused. Liam also began to organize the rescue, try to avoid letting Stella get hurt. Half an hour later, Liam and Sophia arrived at an abandoned old factory in the suburbs. Everyone's actions are very careful. Even Victor did not notice the abnormalities around him. Just arguing with Stella, make every effort to belittle Sophia. Sophia is an untrustworthy person. She not only hurt my feelings, they also took my money. The 3 children. It is also something she intentionally let go of. How good can she be to you? She is just pretending. So hypocritical. You have all been deceived by her outward appearance. Stella was also very excited. You are lying. Sophia's mom is definitely not the kind of person you described. Stop saying those false things. Bang. Sophia felt a mix of pity and anger in her heart. The clenched fist trembles slightly. Has Victor really reached the point where he does not spare even children? The whip kept striking Stella. Sophia couldn't hold back any longer. Before she rushed over, the sniper's bullet has hit Victor's limbs. Every shot is aimed at the most painful spot. Sophia protects Stella. Liam acts as a protector between her and Stella. After more than half a year of pursuit, Victor has finally been caught when he was caught. He even attempted to attack the police officers. However, both hands and feet were severely injured, completely unable to move. Sophia didn't have time to settle scores with Victor. He was immediately taken to the hospital, until the doctor confirmed that Stella had only sustained some minor skin injuries. There was no danger to the nerves and bones. Sophia let out a slight sigh of relief. You should go take a rest. Here I am, Liam said with concern. After all, Sophia hasn't slept for 2 days because of Stella's situation. He has been keeping watch by Stella's bedside and refuses to go to sleep. Liam felt a deep sympathy for her. Sophia rubbed her forehead. The eyes are very red and swollen. My eyelids are so heavy that I can hardly keep them open. Under Liam's repeated urging, Sophia finally agreed to go to bed, in a place where she wasn't paying attention. The number of bodyguards arranged by Liam doubled. The phone rang briefly. Liam took a glance, then quietly left the ward, went to prison. The air in the prison is damp. It makes people feel very uncomfortable. It's hard to imagine. A healthy person would want to stay here for a lifetime, what it will turn into. But what if the other person is Victor? He brought it upon himself. When Victor was taken to the visitation room, still complaining incessantly in their mouth, when he saw Liam lazily leaning back in the swivel chair, a momentary stiffness appeared on her face. Are you here to see me? Why do you need to flaunt your happiness now? Do you think you are the winner? Victor chuckled coldly. Let me tell you, everything you have now is something I once had. Those are the donations I have given to you. Liam's gaze was icy cold. It looks like it is smiling, yet also not smiling, staring at the other person, until Victor was about to finish his scolding. Liam just threw a stack of documents at him. The materials are filled with evidence of Victor's crimes. Each charge could lead to a death sentence for him. However, Liam submitted his psychiatric diagnosis to the court. Therefore, the death penalty has turned into a lifetime confinement in a mental hospital. You really think you can escape all responsibilities like this? Liam smiled at him. However, I don't want you to die. You must stay alive. Victor, only by being alive can one feel pain. Liam no longer looked at Victor's angry expression, then got up and left. Instead of wasting time on Victor, he has more important things to do. Half a month later, Stella's injury is almost healed. Sophia's tense mood finally relaxed a bit. The day Stella was discharged from the hospital, Liam did not go to pick her up. Sophia felt very strange. In the past half-month, Liam's behavior has been somewhat unusual. He is always staring at his phone. Usually, I rarely take the time to help out at the orphanage. Every time I ask him if it's because he's busy with work, Liam always seems to be a bit evasive. It seems to be deliberately hiding something. Prepare to give her a surprise. Sure enough, Sophia just walked into the yard. Then I heard the sound of firecrackers. The yard is beautifully decorated with colorful flowers and balloons. Every child is dressed up as a little flower girl. Liam also put on a formal suit. It's like a lively wedding scene, although it was anticipated long ago. But Sophia couldn't help but cry. People are always touched by happiness, whether it is the happiness of others or one's own happiness. Everything is beautiful. In this special wedding, the mental hospital reported the news of Victor's death, just like the ending of a fairy tale. Liam was so excited that he could hardly speak. Mtkes Sophia, give me a home. Sophia was amused by his sudden remark. Tears are streaming down from laughing. Cannot be stopped. The dean beside him couldn't stand it anymore. Smiling, he said that these two people are really adorably foolish. Such a joyful day. Why cry? I am also about to be moved to tears. As soon as the voice fell, everyone laughed. Sophia and Liam shook hands tightly amid blessings and cheers. Embrace each other. Kiss, enjoying true happiness.